Hello everyone, this is CY once again. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to try out a new dripper which my friend has bought for me, which is they call it the CT62, right? Basically from 60-degree now it changes to 62-degree. It's a very unique design. Supposed to give you less bypass. So let's check it out. First I'll do the unboxing and then we're going to test out the dripper. And then if I can, I'll probably do a second cup with the standard V60 if I have. Because my V60 is not exactly V60, it's a mixture hybrid between the origami and V60. So it's not exactly the true brew V60, but I'll see whether I can do a comparison, or probably for today we just focus on this CT62 dripper. Right, let's get started. Right, so first let's do an unboxing of the dripper. Right, so this is how it looks like. Comes in a box. Its design is a co-collaborative design between a Chinese, I think his name is Shi Dayu Jeff Shi, and Jake Hu from Taiwan. So this is actually the triple design, a very unique. I think this one you can find in the ancient warrior armor suits, right? It's designed this way. It's called the Ma Jia in Chinese, right? So it's called the Dragonfly Design Center, right? The brand CT62 coffee dripper is porcelain, 1 to 2 serving. Filter paper you can use a V60 01 or 02. Angle 62 degree. It's bone china. Okay, so it can go up to 120 degrees Celsius. The version that I have is in blue color, right? They actually tells you the rationale and the idea behind the design and the shape. Yep. Okay. So they have a very short English explanation as well. The dripper shape, size, depth, structure help to maintain an effective or efficient extraction rate. The design of the dripper is at 62-degree angle paired with a 24 rib crisscross design help to efficiently increase and maintain fast flow rate. The dripper design can allow for even extraction regardless of the pour height and pouring position on a brew bed. So it's pretty interesting. So let's give it a try, right? So let's first do the unboxing. Oh, they even have something for you to pull out the box. It's pretty nice. Right? They even give you a ideology behind their concept, behind their creative design. So this one I'll probably read when I have the time. So I'm pretty excited to see what this dripper is and how it looks like, even though I've seen it on photo. Oh, okay. So this is actually the blue color version. Right, so you can see, I think the texture is very interesting. Right, it's actually pretty smooth. So you can see inside the rib, there's this rib design, which is supposed to adhere your filter paper closer to this so that there's less bypass at the side. Right, so I'm going to use this dripper stand here to place on, but it goes pretty deep. But luckily, my dripper stand can be adjustable in terms of height. So let me just run it higher. Right, and I've already pre-weighed 20 grams of coffee. Right, this is our Yunnan number 2. Right, why is it called number 2? Because it's the second anaerobic honey coffee bean from Yunnan that we have. The first one we have is only anaerobic, but this one is an anaerobic honey, so it's slightly different. Right, it has a very tropical, juicy kind of tasting notes, clean, smooth. Yeah. Bike rider. Okay, I'll be right back. Right. All right. So let's get started. Okay, my carafe is here. Let me just test the height to see whether it will fit. Okay, looks good. Right, maybe I can bring it slightly lower. Okay, this is metal, so I want to make sure that it can stay horizontal. Okay, so I think let's fold the filter paper. Okay, let's test the weight. Okay, I can't really test the weight. We'll do it later, right? It actually has the weight descriptions on the box itself. Okay, so we're going to wet the filter paper and then do a rinse to heat up everything. Okay, I'm going to bring you closer, right, to see. Well, all right. So you'll see how well the paper filter actually attached to the surface of the inner surface of the dripper. Okay, you can see down here, right, it's still not touching very well, so I have to do a little bit of manual adjustment. Okay, trying my best to make sure that all the surface is actually touching. Okay, it's a little bit tricky. Okay, let's use the water again. Okay, I think it's just rinse with plenty of water. Right, it fits really nicely. You can see the entire paper fits pretty well onto the surface. Right, so let me pour away the hot water at the bottom. And for today's grinder, I'm going to use the King Grinder K6 to grind about 20 grams of coffee. Right, so this is the King Grinder K6. Let's pour the beans inside. The grind setting I'm currently at should be, let me see, 60, 65, about 70, right from the lock position. Right, I'm going to use 1:15 ratio. So I'm going to brew about 300 grams of water because I'm using about 200 grams, 20 grams of coffee. Right, this is grinded to, wow, the smell. Okay, make sure everything is horizontal. Right, water is at 92 degrees Celsius. So let's get started. This is probably slightly finer as compared to the rest of the grind size that I've tried. Okay, I'm going to let it bloom slightly longer, maybe 45 seconds. just to show you the flow. Now the flow is more, it flows better. The filter paper really adhere to the wall very well. As you can see now, the draining is very, very systematic now. It's very smooth. There's no muddiness on top. Maybe I grind a little bit too fine. Okay. Let's get some glasses. Okay, the total drawn down time is about 3.5 minutes. Alright, let's put the dripper aside. And then let's do a taste test. Okay, let's put this aside. Okay, so now we can taste the coffee. Okay. You can see the color first. It's very clean. Still a little bit too hot. Shouldn't use a double wall glass. It's a very clean cup of coffee. But I'm using the cane grinder, which the K6, which tends to also give you slightly cleaner cup, less muddiness. So this is totally very, very clean. The acidity is very pleasant. It's a cherry kind of acidity, coupled with a little bit of citrusy, I think. There's no bitterness. The finishing is pretty good. but I expect this to be slightly sweeter. Maybe it's the grinder that I choose, right? So if I change this grinder to some other grinders, it can actually produce a different result, because when I first test this coffee, I'm using my SSP multi-purpose 90 mm. So that burr actually gives me the best flavor from all the burrs I've tried before. So at a conical burr sets, it probably doesn't do justice to this coffee and to this dripper. So I'll be doing another test probably tomorrow morning, right? And I'm going to run it with the SSP 98 to grind the coffee. I think I probably have to grind a little bit coarser, because you can see uh, from the quality of the grind, there's a little bit of muddiness there, right? The muddiness actually float to the top, and then maybe it's also mine. But by right, according to the instruction, it says the pouring technique doesn't really matter. So I'll be doing a test again tomorrow, but it's pretty exciting and interesting, right? And it'll be pretty interesting to compare this with some other drippers that I have and currently I'm using, right? But it's still overall, it's still a very pleasant cup. It's sweet. Um, this coffee is not supposed to have the good body. It's supposed to be very clean, and yet yes, it does display the clean aftertaste. It doesn't have any muddiness. It's very light. It's juicy, but the sweetness is not as high as I expect it to be. Probably because of the grinder again. So let me do a test tomorrow morning, and then let's do a comparison with the coffee today. Right. So thanks for joining. Right. Pretty exciting drippers. It We also purchased a stand that comes with it. Right. It's an acrylic cut one, but I didn't use this. Apparently, it's not cheap to get this actually. So the entire dripper plus the dripper holder costs around 75 Singapore dollar, right? So not exactly a cheap dripper. So whether it is worth buying, right? I have to do more tests to give you the feedback. So stay tuned, right, for tomorrow. So I'll test this dripper again. Then let me test a few more times before you actually jump into the conclusion, or jump into conclusion to give you whether this is a good buy, or whether you should go ahead and buy, right? So thanks for joining. This is CY. Hit the subscribe button, right? See you very soon.